Good morning. How are you all doing? Are you ready to learn how to engage your deep core muscles? Okay. I'm going to be teaching a technique that I use in my Pilates class, and I kind of developed it through using these rollers, which I will be talking about later, and of course I use it in my classes as well. If you have got a roller, you can try it later on the roller. I much prefer these ones. They are harder to get. Usually you get a 6-inch. This is 4-inch, purely because you get a more myofascial release and all the rest. I will talk about that later. With that roller, don't worry if you don't have it. For now, if you have got 2 tennis balls or at least a hard water bottle or a mug, then that would be great as well. If you don't, doesn't matter. Okay, so why is it important to have a strong inner core? Let's just quickly talk about what is inner core, what is the deep core. You've got this 6-pack here. That is transverse rectus abdominis, okay? And your obliques. These muscles I just mentioned are your outer core. They are there to give us a flexion, extension, and move us around. They are not attached to the spine. Underneath, you have got the transverse abdominis. That is the most important muscle, which starts at the lumbar spine and wraps around your core, abdominal wall, creating this abdominal wall, and goes back to the spine. So it's like a corset. And that corset is going to protect all your organs. But because it is attached to the spine, it's so important that muscle is strong. You can have amazing 6-pack, but you could still have a lower back issues because that corset is weak. That corset will get damaged through having a baby because everything expands. Any operations, if that corset is broken and or weak, it then pushes things out, and that's when the hernias will happen. Another part of the inner core is also pelvic floor. Pelvic floor are all the muscles from below here. I've got to be graphic because a lot of the time people haven't got a clue where the pelvic floor is. But it's like a big hammock which holds everything in place. And that can become weak through, again, giving birth, through operation. Men can have a weak pelvic floor if they've got a prostate op. Of course, women as well. A lot of the times, women in menopause will often suffer more with prolapses rather than postnatally because everything becomes weaker. For all these kind of issues, there is one thing you should not be doing, and that is crunches. I haven't mentioned the obvious one, diastasis recti, which is a separation that some moms will have, or a man with a big bare belly will have when basically the belly grows and the abdominal wall expands, and then it kind of leaves the gap. And if that diastasis doesn't get repaired, then again, if the weak muscle underneath I was talking about basically is not strong, is going to start pushing through that gap. So it's all these kind of issues I've mentioned. You should know one thing for sure: no crunches are going to be any good for you. And that's why I'm going to explain you the crunchless core technique, because you can really learn to engage your core with just the breath and your mind, working the stuff slowly, working the exercises slowly and with control. And that breathing technique that we're going to apply later, I am going to explain now. What is important is that you learn, well, that you can breathe into your belly. We were all born with nice belly breath. When you look at the babies sleeping, they all breathe nice and relaxed way into their belly. But then we move through the adulthood and then we get stressed out and then the breath looks like this. Goes into the chest, shoulders, and what happens? The belly sucks in on the inhale and then it relaxes on the exhale. Well, we should know that all the engagement of the core should happen on the exhale. On the exhale, when we lift the weight, we want to engage the core. So exhale, always remember, exertion, exhale. The core needs to be engaged. But how can it be engaged if the core sucks in on the inhale and relaxes on the exhale with the chest breath? So you need to place your hands onto the belly and then see if you can relax and start breathing into the belly. So let's practice that. You can see the belly expands here and then it relaxes. But it doesn't mean that you want to push everything out, really force it out. Think about a 360-degree breath into the belly. So inhale. Exhale. So if the breath is not going into the belly, the first thing, number one, you've got to, every night, before you go to bed, just practice. Close your eyes, put your hands on your belly and relax. Relax, send it back to your belly. Good. Okay, so now, I've already mentioned that inner core is connected with the pelvic floor. And therefore, I like to engage the inner core from the pelvic floor, because if you engage it from the base, you imagine this tube, it gets nice and strong and engaged. There's one really bad cue you still may hear in some Pilates classes. To engage the core, press the belly button towards the spine, which will then create posterior pelvic tilt, and press the lower back into the floor. That is outdated. And I've learned this, I kind of discovered it myself as well through kind of practice teaching on these rollers. The people who engage the core on their back with posterior tilt like this, sucking the belly button in, will really get a strong muscles here at the front, at the top, but the pelvic floor and lower abs is really weak. And when I then change the kind of the technique and explain them how to engage with the neutral spine, it then becomes suddenly everything that we do on these rollers super hard. But then it takes time for those muscles to start reactivating, engaging, and it starts to work. I had no idea I end up talking probably throughout most of the live stream, but I just feel like this is so important to get this and get you to understand it, the whole kind of inner core business. Okay, so let me just grab the water and we get into the practice now. Just the breathing. Now, by the way, this breathing practice. Oh, hello, Mom. Hello, hello, Fran, as well. Thank you, and Sam, for joining me. This breathing practice is something that you can do lying down, sitting up, when you are stuck in a traffic jam, anything. But it is a practice that you can just build your inner core strength without doing single crunch, and you can do it anywhere. Okay, so let's work this one out. Okay, so we've got that established belly breath. So inhale into the belly. Think about the pelvic floor squeezing, like you want to kind of pull in number one, number two, and then draw up. Okay, now you can see my belly's gone in. We're going to now exhale the breath out and relax the belly for now. So watch this again. Inhale into the belly. Engage. Now. See how it's going in. Now. We're going to exhale and stay engaged. Then we relax. The engagement of the core, I like to do before inhale and exhale. In between, not before, in between the two breaths. There is a reason when we're going to put this practice into the exercises. Okay, so get into the habit, listen to the cue. So let's do that again. Inhale into the belly. Engage from the pelvic floor, feel that zip, see how it's drawing up. Exhale the breath out, stay engaged. Then we relax, okay? When I teach the Pilates core, every move has got a breath. But we would not strengthen the core if we relax the core every single time after each breath, right? So we want to then keep that core engaged for longer, and therefore continue breathing as well. We need to continue breathing whilst we are engaged. So here you are. You're going to engage, and then we're going to see if we can continue breathing. What we're going to be doing is breathing into the ribs, okay? Not the chest, the lower ribs. And you can see it in my core really well because my core is trained for it. And what basically has happened in my core as it got so strong inside, I am able to maintain this tight belly in and then breathe into the rib cage. For the beginners who are learning this technique, will try to breathe into the rib cage, but the belly will go up slightly as well because the breath will be escaping into that belly area. But that's okay. More you strengthen that inner core, your rib cage, and more breath is gonna go into your rib cage. So it's gonna be expanding. And that's what happened with my ribs. All those muscles have loosened up through that breath. And now I can take a plenty of inhale just through the ribs. So watch this. So we're gonna inhale into the belly. Engage from the pelvic floor. See how it's drawing up. Exhale the breath out. Keep that core set. Keep the tight jeans on. That's another cue I am giving out to people. Okay, and now I still haven't kind of taken a breath. I'm holding that breath in because now we're going to be breathing into the rib cage. So inhale into the rib cage. You can see how it's expanding here. Exhale. I'm still tight here. Inhale 2. Exhale. Still tight. Inhale 3. Exhale. And now I relax. If you are a beginner, and that's what I find usually with people, starting with this technique, you probably find on a second breath or even on a first breath, you thought, oh my gosh, I can't hold this anymore. It's going to relax. Your belly will relax, starts to relax. You lose that engagement. But more you practice this simple breathing technique, the stronger that inner core will get, and your back will be supported. you know, imagine this core set being able to be so strong to keep everything in place. But if it's weak, all you need to do is just a movement somewhere, wrong movement, and suddenly your back goes, okay? So let's practice this. And remember, this is the technique that you can literally do anywhere, okay? So relax. I'm gonna go from the angle so you can see it happening. So inhale into the belly. Belly expands 360 into the back as well. Engage, draw up. See how it's drawing up. From here, think about the tight jeans zipping up. Exhale the breath out, stay engaged. Now breathe into the ribs. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale 2. Exhale. Inhale 3. Exhale. You can hear my breath and you can see that I'm taking quite a big breath, but that's again going back to what I was talking about. My rib cage is now able to expand quite a lot, so I can take a lot of breath in. However, these lateral breaths doesn't need to be massive if you are a beginner. Just take whatever you can take. But sometimes I get people to kind of take a massive breath and it just goes, everything goes back into the belly. And you kind of lose that engagement. So see if you can stay zipped up and continue breathing, kind of, you know, maybe taking less of the breath. Okay, so as I said, if you're a beginner, this could be probably quite challenging for you to maintain it. So if you hold an object that you can squeeze in your hands, you're going to notice a better connection. So we're going to hold the ball here. Inhale. Engage. Exhale, squeeze into the ball, stay engaged. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale 2. Exhale. Inhale 3. Exhale. Relax. What you find when you press the ball, because you are then engaging your sort of upper body muscle, your pecs, and everything is connected, you feel quite strong in your upper core. Okay, now put that ball in between your thighs, or like I said, it could be hard water bottle, something that, you know, is not so squishy, the hard plastic. And now when we engage, you're gonna feel stronger connection here, because we're gonna be activating the adductors, and they will therefore connect with that inner core a little bit better. So inhale into the belly. Pull from that pelvic floor, zip up, and then squeeze the ball as you exhale. Feel that strong connection here. The buttocks will be engaged as well. Now breathe. Inhale. Exhale. By the way, you can do this standing. I'm just kneeling so I don't have to play with the camera. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good, good. Relax. Okay, so now, yeah, it's not comfortable on the knees, but I'm just going to do one more breath work together so you can now see the difference. So when we squeeze into both balls, you're going to suddenly feel the connection with that inner core a lot stronger, okay? So inhale. Squeeze into the ball. I need to step in a little bit. And exhale. Yes, stay engaged. Inhale. I'm gonna cue this a little bit better because I wasn't doing it right. So let's do that again, because I want to basically squeeze into the ball on the exhale. So let's go again. Inhale. Engage. Exhale. Stay engaged. Squeeze into the ball. That's better. Good. Okay. So here we are. Nice and zipped up. Inhale into the rib cage. Exhale. Inhale 2. Exhale. Inhale 3. Exhale. Good, relax. So your homework is, and if you are that person that can't do any core work because of operations in the past, or any other indication, contraindications or issues I've mentioned earlier, this is a simple way to restore your inner core muscles with just the breath, okay? And it's golden kind of breath work. We are now going to lie down and try on our back. Let's see how we're doing with the time. Okay, 9 minutes left. So I'm going to go back to this roller. If you are using a roller, it's got to be, this is I think 90 centimeters, just under a meter. It's got to be long enough, none of those short ones, because your pelvis and your head needs to be on it, okay? It was the roller that taught me how to kind of do the Pilates work and stay engaged correctly. Because it will wobble if you are not engaging right. And I can see it with the beginners. They're like, oh, sometimes they come off the roller. But that's a good thing because it's giving you the feedback. Zip up, zip up, zip up those tight jeans, okay? So it gives you the feedback. It makes everything a lot more challenging because what we're going to do, especially if you are doing it on the floor, you may feel, oh, I can't feel anything. The reason why you're not going to feel anything yet is because your core muscles are like, what is he asking me to do? Engage like this? What am I supposed to do? The more you do it, the stronger the muscle will get, more muscle memory you're going to get in that area. And it's gonna feel stronger because I can do a really good inner core workout just lying on the floor and feel like I am really connecting with my inner core. But that's because my brain and muscle is connected. For the beginner's core, it's gonna take a time. So, however, if you do everything on the roller, it's gonna be challenging. So that's the second, so feedback, challenge, and the third one, when you come off this roller, you get a wonderful myofascial release. That's why in my Pilates classes, everyone goes like, oh, what happens? The roller supports the middle of the spine. The rest of the muscle have got finally the opportunity to relax. So I'm going to be on it, but don't worry if you don't have it. Okay. Back a little bit closer so you can see me. Let's lie down and relax. So head is on and the pelvis. Let's do this engagement. Now this is, let me just show you what I was talking about at the beginning, the wrong way to engage the core when you are lying on your back, okay? If you want to get into the deep core, is pulling the belly button down and pressing the lower back down. You can hopefully see it quite well, that my, yeah. And can you see what happened with my pelvis? It kind of lifted. I've got the tuck, it's a posterior tilt. This is how we do not engage the core if we want to get that inner core engagement done correctly. So watch this now. Inhale into the belly. Pull from the pelvic floor. Can you see that there is still that neutral spine, that there is not this? I haven't done this. Yeah, there was no pelvis movement. Okay, so now I'm engaged, and now we're gonna breathe into the ribcage. Inhale 1, exhale. Inhale 2. Exhale. Inhale, free. Exhale. Relax. I'm going to mention one more thing, which is also quite important. Yes, I am asking you to engage from the pelvic floor because that gives you that zip from base all the way up. However, the pelvic floor is a muscle that you don't want to be over tightening constantly. You want to be relaxing it as well. So when we're staying in a sequence and I want you to stay engaged all the time, if you feel that pelvic floor is like relaxing, let it be, just leave it. Focus on this corset. Focus on those tight jeans, okay? And let's do this again. So inhale into the belly. I'm gonna just move this arm so you can sit. Inhale into the belly. Pull from the pelvic floor, zip up. Maintain the neutral spine. Do not tilt your pelvis. You can see, you can feel that it's just getting so strong here. And then exhale the breath out. Stay engaged. And then breathe into the ribcage. Inhale 1. Exhale. Inhale 2. Exhale. Inhale 3. Exhale. Relax. Okay, so now we are going to put this into the practice. And because I talked a lot, I think I will do next Saturday a live stream where what we just kind of gonna try, we're going to be doing a lot of like a different practices, sequences. So you get to practice it. And it's a good thing if you're watching it now, you've got a 1 week to practice this breath work. Okay, so now this is another thing. I'm going to be lifting the leg up into the tabletop. This is why I am cueing. Inhale. Watch this. Engage. Exhale. Lift the foot very slowly to the tabletop. This is your exhale. This is your move. And that's what we're going to do then. Then we're going to relax. Take another belly breath, engage it, and on the exhale, we'll lower it down. In my Pilates classes, I cue every single move equals a breath. When you are stationary, you take an inhale. When you move, you exhale. Okay. This is so important, and I see it with the beginners so often, and it's normal, but I want you to be aware of this. When I ask you to lift the leg up, people just shoot the leg up because they use the momentum and everything else, but not the deep core. This is why I am cueing the lift of the foot in this way. On the exhale, I will say lift the heel, lift the ball, and then lift the toe. So slowly, mindfully. And those clients that they've been coming to me for, a year at least, when they know what they're doing and they're connected, I can literally tell who's a beginner who's been coming to the class for longer time, because and who is connected, who is not. Because if they go very slowly, very mindfully, lift it up, I know they are connected. But if they just go, I know they are not connected. And this is what's your job, to be mindful and start connecting with your core. So here we go. Inhale into the belly. Pull from the pelvic floor, zip up. Exhale, lift the heel, the ball, the toes, slowly come up. Now, if this, okay, relax the core at the top. If this feels easy in your core, that means you are not zipping hard enough. You should feel the challenge in your deep core there. But don't worry if you don't, because like I said, you've got to get those muscles to start kind of activating. Okay, so now we are up here. We're gonna inhale into the belly. Engage, exhale, lower down slowly. Now this is a nice way to count for 10 to lower down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And sometimes people will actually connect better on the way down because when they slow it down and count, and then once they're connected and they know what I mean when it's coming down, then you can then put it into the lifting practice. We're gonna do the same on the other side. So take a deep breath into the belly. Pull from the pelvic floor. See how everything goes gradually down. And then exhale, lift the heel, the ball, the toe. Slowly imagine you lifting heavy weight. Up, relax the core. Inhale, engage, exhale, lower down. Relax. Sometimes I also notice when I ask them, when I ask people to engage their core, that sometimes they inhale and kind of bring this top part down, and everything kind of pushes up here, back. Sort of, kind of there is like, I can see the lowering here, but nothing here. And that's when it's important to think about kind of gradual, not so strong, kind of lowering from the low to up. Okay. So far we just did one breath, relax, and then another breath, relax. In order for us to stay engaged for longer, we're now going to take a breath through the rib cage. So this is slightly different cueing. Inhale. Engage. It's the same cueing but adding on things. Exhale the breath. On the exhale, lift the heel, the ball, the toe. Now, stay engaged. And also lift the second heel. Now, if you are on the floor, you can lift the toe and just hover it. Don't lift it up here. Just hover it. Okay, stay engaged. Inhale into the ribcage. Exhale, lower everything down. Relax. So this is now kind of progression. I call this a setup breath, the first breath, and then I call the rib breaths. Okay, so inhale into the belly. Set it up, engage, exhale, lift the heel, the ball, the toe. Add on the heel on if you are on a roller, but the whole foot if you are on the floor. Stay engaged. Inhale. Exhale, lower it down. How long you should take to lower or lift the leg up depends how long your exhale lasts. So, just connect it with your exhale. Oh, let's see the time. Oh my gosh, I've got to stop because I've got people, they haven't knocked on the door for the Pilates class to come in here, and I bet they are waiting outside. Okay, because I went way past. Okay, so this was kind of introduction to how to work your inner core, how to connect with it deeper. Please practice the technique I showed you earlier. Next week, I will continue from where we just finished. Kind of go through the practice, breathing practice again, and then start building up these sequences. Thank you very much for joining me today. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you soon. Bye, everyone.